and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. I don't know what it is, I'm not doing a vlog. I am doing a video today that I'm really excited to bring to you, but it feels really weird to do it at this time. Even though I did just look back at the video I did last year at the exact same time, but last year it felt natural. But we'll get on to that. First of all, my name is Amelia. I am 24 and I am at the University of Portsmouth in my final year studying business and management. This video is a really exciting one. I love doing them every year since being at uni. But before we get on to it, I just want to make sure you all guys are all staying safe in this scary kind of unknown, uncertain time, in a point where like at this current moment, people are either self-isolating, social distancing, but also, let's be real, things are going crazy right now with COVID-19. So I just want to make sure everyone is staying safe and trying to, I don't want to make awareness because I don't think many people are going to watch this, but if you're one of these people bulk buying loads of toilet rolls to prevent other people from getting toilet roll, stop. Please. I'm not just saying it as a student living in with 3 other people, to the point where I need to get to more than 9 rolls of toilet roll to last us. To a point, I'm saying this as a point of, there are people who are more or worse off who cannot leave their house at this point because they have to quarantine, they have to self-isolate, and in order to do that, but they have nothing because everyone has taken all the stuff that they needed, like pasta, tinned food, toilet roll, hand sanitizer, because they're just being selfish. I get it, you're scared, but also you can, sorry, I got a notification from work on my phone and I'm already dreading it. You can go to shops on lockdown, like supermarkets anyway. I really don't think you realise that you can still leave the house and go to the supermarket and then come straight back. You're not fully confined to stay indoors if we have lockdown, but you are basically confined to the fact that you can't go to pubs, you can't go to clubs, you can't go to gatherings, all that stuff. All the fun stuff. But anyway, that is my little chat about COVID-19. Anyway, I do hope people are okay, staying safe, and I just want to move on with the video and make it lighthearted because the reason I'm doing this is to clear my head. This video, before we get into this video, I do hope you enjoy. If you do, please give it a huge thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and without further ado, let's get on with the video. So this video is one I do every year of uni. I do a roundup of the year. I'm going to quickly check my phone, so I'm very sorry, but I really want to know what my work manager is having to say. Oh, it's not that big of a deal, I've already seen it. Sorry, I think my tripod is breaking, so I'm really worried to knock it, because, yeah. One second. Okay, so for this year's roundup, it's a bit weird to say it right now, because I don't know what's happening with uni, because currently I'm now doing everything online, because obviously the uni is shut. No face-to-face lectures are happening, because, well, how do I describe it? We're on lockdown. Well, uni's on lockdown. So it's really weird to think this, because after Easter usually I'd be getting ready to go back to uni and I would be going to classes and I'd do my exams in the exam hall, and now it's it's all unknown. Also, if I would advise you to get a cup of coffee or tea or a drink or a snack whilst watching this, because I have a feeling it could get long. But yeah. So this year has been, but before all this happened, this year has been a bit of a whirlwind. All of it has been uncertain, all of it's been unknown. So, not to quote Frozen 2, when we started year 3, it was like going into the unknown, because everything had changed. The year had changed. We went from doing a full year of having all units from the beginning of the year, and we finished them all at the end of the year, to having a term of we have one term, we have two units that you don't carry on, and then the second term you have another 2 units that you don't carry on, that you start in the second term, and then you had 1. So I had 2 before Christmas called operations and strategy and supply I can't remember what it's called. operations and supply chain management. I think that's what it was. So Monday already hurts. And I also did discrimination and conflict in employment law, which I wish I never picked, but what can I do? I have a feeling that's going to be my unit that's going to get dropped because I think it's going to be my lowest unit. And then I also had one other unit that continues all through that year, which is my dissertation, which I've hated. I don't know, I was always looking forward to write my dissertation, and now I'm a bit... Now the deadline's looming and I'm nowhere near ready. It's freaking me out a little bit, but it's okay. It's all good. I'll get onto that topic soon. And then this time I've done 2 other units. I've done I'm doing, I should say, strategic management and project management for enterprise. And honestly, it's crazy, and this year has been very crazy. So I went into unknown, not knowing how it was gonna go, because I'm so used to having a whole year to like focus on these units, and this time I've had like 12 weeks. So it's kind of scary. But all in all, this year's been a bit of a weird one. I have split this whole thing into like different sections. So we got uni all together, course, society and living kind of thing. So we're going to go for that. I'm going to start with the whole overall uni thoughts. So when I first started, I feel like I'm watching a Netflix show. I'm talking about it. When I first started year 3, or final year, I was like, it was the fear of not knowing. I still had no idea what I am doing. Well, what I was doing next year, I was very much in the undecisive and unknown world of like, what am I doing when I graduate? I meant to be graduating in July this year. Yeah. But who knows what? I don't know what's going to happen after that. I don't know if I'm going to get a job or what. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I now know, which I will get into in a second, but the fear of next year really took a toll on what I was doing, and it took a toll on me, and it took a toll on my uni work. I just didn't want to do anything. I got very much kind of low in myself because I was very like torn. I didn't like it. I just was very stressed over the idea. And when I get stressed, I get or anxious about things, I just don't do anything that I have to do. I try to avoid doing what I have to do by doing things that I don't need to do, like playing Sims or, for example, filming a video. Like, I like filming videos, I love doing it, and it's really good for a time like this when I'm feeling very anxious. But when I know I have things to do, like, if you haven't realised before this video, I haven't had a video up for like 2 weeks because I've been so busy with uni work. But I've been motivated because I've really been feeling stressed or anxious. But when I don't feel stressed or anxious, that's fine. When I do, I try to avoid doing the things I have to do. So that's what was last time, was a lot of like doing things like playing Sims, playing unnecessary games with my housemate, going out a lot, which ended up in a lot of tears and breakdowns, which is why I try to avoid going out as much as I possibly can now, because I really cannot deal with the idea of breaking down all the time on a night out because I'm stressed or anxious, and that's what's happened recently. So I feel like for me, second year was a drastic change from first year, but it wasn't a change to the point where I didn't enjoy going out. Like, I didn't mind it, but then again, I didn't go out as much in second year, and then I came to third year and I was going out a lot. And I was kind of treating third year like it was first year again, and I was going out a lot, not giving myself time to recover. And honestly, I really wish I didn't go out as much as I did last time, because, you know, it kind of took a toll on me, and I really didn't like where I was turning, because all I was doing was crying after a night out because I was stressed. Uni stressed me out a lot, and this is how bad it got, to the point where I went and took myself to wellbeing and spoke to someone. And when I say I took myself to speak to someone, it takes a lot for me to speak to someone I don't know about the things that are going on in my head. And I did it, and at the point when I went to do it, because the time when they could give me an appointment, I started to feel a little bit better, to the point where I was like, I can kind of cope and I can handle it myself. So I went in to speak to these people, and it didn't really help. It just made me feel worse again, because everything I was saying to her, she was giving me like reasons behind of like how I could fix it, but all the things I could fix it with was things I was trying to avoid. So it just made me feel kind of crappy. another point of this whole uni feeling fear, a lot of people I know are like planning it. I'm 24, at that point I was coming 24, and I was in the fear of like, well, maybe loads of people my age are getting married, having kids, and there's me with no guy, no future career plan, and I was just getting scared, thinking, what am I gonna do? So I got really down about that, and I know I should never get down about boy or like that kind of aspect, because when it's meant to happen, it will happen. But my head just got to the point of like, no, I wanted it, so I got myself down because it wasn't happening. Um, and it's a stupid point because it made me, this whole year has made me realise how much I don't need a guy. And I've gone through experience with boys, which I will get onto, it's actually going to be another topic, this year. And I have spoken about it before in other vlogs or video, I can't really remember. But it was a point where I'm just like, I'm done getting myself hurt over boys, and I'm done trying to think, oh, because all my friends are getting married or having kids, that's what I need to do. Because in the end, that is not really the necessity plan. Another thing I did last time, and I've kind of summed it up, was I felt, well, not this time, the whole year, I felt quite lost because so when I started third year, I didn't really like who I was. I didn't feel myself at all. I felt like I was walking around, but as someone else. Didn't feel like me. I felt lost. Did not know what was going on. And it just felt very unsettling. So I just didn't like it. And I had many breakdowns about this. I broke down over simple things, and it was just stupid things. And because of that, I felt really like not me. And I hated it because when you're used to feeling like a certain way and that changes because of, I don't know, aspects of uni, I guess, it's not great. So it just really made me feel stressed, and then, yeah. But while we're on the whole uni thing, I said at the beginning of this part I was feeling lost and not sure about next year, like worried about next year. So my fear of next year is kind of gone because I now have applied for a master's in digital marketing, and I applied through Fast Track, so I'm staying in Portsmouth. I applied through Fast Track, and honestly, I didn't realise it was going to happen so quickly, but I applied on the Sunday at work. So Sunday the 8th of March I applied through Fast Track, and then by the Tuesday I had got an email saying congratulations, you got into Masters. So I am now doing a Masters in digital marketing, hopefully starting September. And I'm really excited. It's another year here, another year in show choir, another year getting to go through, and hopefully by that point I can figure out what I want to do. I realised I wanted to go into marketing, but I'm more interested in the digital side of marketing because obviously that side is more developing and more evolving around the world, and I feel like there's more opportunities for me compared to other places. But yeah, now we're gonna move on to the course. I've kind of spoke about the course in the uni like before, so there's not much to talk about. But I am gonna talk about how like the grades I got last term and how I felt. So last term was stressful. I didn't. So when I did those 2 units, when I started the first one, I was like, I'm not going to enjoy the law one. I don't know why I chose it, but I couldn't find anything. By the time I had 2 weeks to make a decision if I wanted to change, and I did not know what I wanted to do. There was nothing else on the list that I wanted to do, so I stuck with it because I was like, I can't change it now. It's too late. I ain't gonna get anywhere. I might as well just stick with it, and I hated myself for it. It's my lowest grade this year. I think it's like 58 I got overall, 55, I can't remember. But it's around that, and I didn't even, like, I got 50 something in both my pieces of coursework, so it's not like it's the greatest piece of coursework I done anyway. And then in my I did ops as well, and I liked the idea of it at first, but I did not like the coursework or the exam. But I did like pretty well in the exam. I got 60 something in the exam. I think like 68? No. I don't know, 64. I don't remember. 60 something in the exam. And then in the online test we had, which was worth 10%, I got 71%. And I was really proud of that, but I knew it was 10%, so it wasn't that big of a deal. If that makes any sense. But then on my coursework I got like 58.5, so 57.5 or something like that. So altogether I got something, I can't remember, I got 50 something in the coursework. So then my overall grade was 60. It's exactly 60, they rounded it up. So I got a low 2-1 in that, so it's okay. My dissertation was where the complications started because I was not motivated with it. It took a lot for me to be motivated, and then I had to do this thing called the ethics form in order to get my um, questionnaire out. And this is what took so long to get sorted, and it stressed me out. So I got to the week it was due in, and I thought it was done well enough. So I showed it to my personal tutor or my disso supervisor, and she wasn't happy exactly with it. We went through things that needed to change, and I broke down in her office at the meeting because when she was saying this, I had so many other things going through my head. How I had the ops draft to hand in, I had law calls what to do. I had just a lot of stuff going on and not enough time. So I broke down in the office, just like stressed out my mind over it, and then so she gave me the extension till January to get my ethics form done. Now I love my supervisor. She's so nice, so helpful, but she's also very slow at getting back to emails, and it is very stressful when you've got things to get done. So I came back after Christmas, had updated my ethics form, sent it to her. I had to resend it to her twice because she took forever to get back to my email. So, and then she wanted me to update another bit, so I did that. I sent it back to her, and it took another 2 or 3 days to get back to that. So I was stressing out, and it got to like the end of so then middle of February, she finally said, "Yeah, that's fine." Sent me back the signed one by Jan, who's the ethics reviewer as well. And then once that had happened, I was like, okay, doing the questions for my questionnaire. She wanted to see it, so it got to the middle of it was like the last week of February. The 2 weeks before the last week of February, I sent it to her. She said this needs to be done, this needs to do that. So I changed it, done update what she wanted. Then it took me to the end of February, so I sent my questionnaire out on the 28th of February. And bear in mind, okay, I've got like 90 responses now, which is pretty good considering. But it was stressful because I was like, if I don't get it out soon, when it comes time to do this coursework, this piece of work, I'm not going to be able to get it, like, out. I'm not going to have enough responses. So it's going to mess my whole dissertation up. But luckily she said yes, you can go ahead, and I got it out. So I'm sitting here like, it is due in on April 27th. The draft is due in the Friday after this is going up, so Friday the 27th of March. And as much as I'm like, it's fine, because my primary date was just questionnaire, so I don't have to meet up, so I don't have to worry about this whole coronavirus stuff. I feel like because there's no teacher, I can't go and see, okay, next week Friday is the last day I can technically see my supervisor before my dissertation hand in. But I can't see her because this whole thing's going on. And don't get me wrong, I probably could do Skype call, and that is fine, but it's just very stressful. Bearing in mind I also have another piece of coursework due in next Friday that I'm like very much unsure about. I've written 200 words for it, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm writing. I'm making up a load of crap. So, who knows? Fingers crossed I can actually, get it done. And I have another piece of coursework due in April 24th, which is 3 days before the dissertation hand-in. So I'm stressing out a little bit because I had the option to go home in this situation. Well, I would if work closed, but at the moment work is still not closing. I'm getting a bit stressed out about it because it's like, in order for this is going on a tangent with coronavirus, but in order for this, like, I just we are on lockdown. Like, if work closes, we go on lockdown, this could all pass by and we can get back to normal, but the longer we keep people still going to work, the longer it's just going to pass by, it's just going to get people ill. And it's not going to happen, but hey. But yeah, so anyway, I'm stressed because I've got so much work to do and I really need to get on with it. And you'd think now I have time because you need to do work. I'm not. But I am trying to do at least some work a day, and then hopefully I'm going to push myself to work harder next week and push myself to do it. I am working on Saturday night. I think it's 5 close. I can't really remember. I did check it a minute ago. Which is fine, but I don't want to be there. but I feel like it's going to be quite dead in the point where like no one's going out anyway, so it's going to be hopefully pretty dead bowling on Saturday night. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that is something else I need to talk about, so I'm going to add it in. I might write it down quickly because I will forget. Okay, next one is society now. This year, for the third year running, I have been part of Show Choir Society, and I've said this so many times how much I absolutely love it. It has been the best part of my uni experience. I will never doubt. I will say to anyone, if you're scared about having no friends, or you feel very lonely because if you've got a small set of friends, join a society. It takes up time of your week, but it's so great because it's like a little bit of a de-stress from doing uni work, and you have a group of friends. For one, I'm so grateful for the friends I made during show choir. Obviously I've got like massive group of friends of show choir. I love them to pieces, and I luckily this year was part of the committee as secretary of show choir, which was stressful, but it was alright. It's been alright. I mean, next year I am now going to be vice president, so I can feel the stress. Can just feel the stress, but I'm excited. But it's been a great experience. I did masters again this year. We won social special recognition for a best arrangement of Numb, and I'm so proud of everyone who took part. It was the best day I've ever had. And I enjoyed it so much, and I travelled to Sussex for it in the middle of the whole coronavirus stuff, and it was a very scary time. Honestly, we had one uni drop out because of it, and I mean, I'm not surprised. And it was just, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be the people hosting it, because they're going to have loads of questions about coronavirus, and are you still going ahead? And I would have hated to be involved in that part. But show choir it's been the best part of this year. It's actually got me through this year a lot, and I'm excited for next year again. One more year with them. Whoop whoop. Next thing we'll talk about is living situation. So, I have lived in the same house. If you haven't been able to tell by the vlogs, I've lived in the same house for this year. It was just easier, but it hasn't been the smooth sailing living situation as it was last year, to the point where things have been a bit more like, I don't know how to say it, tense in this house. It's not been that dramatic, it's just been tense. And I don't wish to go into detail as of yet. I think I will wait until like next year to talk about this, because I doubt he watches my videos, but just in case, I don't want to make drama in the house by uploading it and not talking to him about it. So it's just been tense at some points in the house, and it's just not always been a great place to live. But all in all, I actually do love living in this house, but I can't wait to find a new house. The final thing, I'm not going to talk about boys, decided I can't be bothered, they're not worth the time. All you need to know is I'm on a boy detox right now. But no, I have a job, as obviously in summer last year I got a job, so back in July last year whilst I was living here over the summer but not working, I got a job at Hollywood Bowl, which I did enjoy a lot more then than I do now, but okay. I do kind of miss it though. I haven't been there for like 10 days, and I'm like, okay, now I kind of miss the bowl, and if we shut, it's going to be a bit weird because I won't be there for ages, but at the same point, I still don't like it. Excuse me. But, back to the point, I've had a job over the course of final year, and it hasn't exactly been the easiest because it's been very stressful trying to fit in my uni work at the same time as going to work, and I was always doing really ridiculous hours, and it was always very stressful because Friday and Saturday nights are not exactly the greatest. Sorry, I get really wired with my camera, like dying or cutting memory. It's been so very like busy, so when you're working on the busy shift, you don't want to do anything in the morning when you wake up the next day because you're so stressed and tired. But I don't get anything done the next day. Sorry. So having a job during final year, like I don't regret it, like I would do it again. I mean, it's been really helpful because obviously we all know I ain't great with money as it is, and having a little bit of extra income coming in whilst also studying is actually kind of good when, you know, so you don't have to be too stressed about the idea of like, how am I going to eat. This time last year I had about £11 in my bank account, and I had to deal with that over the whole of Easter holidays. So I spent an extra week here when the Easter holidays started. So I spent a week in Portsmouth, and I was basically doing what I am doing now, is basically self-isolating. I didn't go out much at all. I look back at this time last year, and I was basically in my house every day. So I didn't think I could do it again now, but I had like, so I look back at this time last year, I had no money and I was struggling, and it was stressful. Like, I'm not saying I'm grateful for money right now, because I'm not, but it is a point where having a bit extra income coming in, knowing I can support myself and I don't have to ask my friends saying, can I borrow this amount of money just to get food, is something I am entirely grateful for, and I'm glad that I have it. And I wouldn't want to lose it, but it's just, it is very stressful trying to work and do uni at the same time. And I always like praise my friends who have been doing it all through uni, because I don't know how I would have done it. So all in all, third year has been stressful. I will obviously update you on either my vlog or make a channel. Make a channel? Yes. Make a video about my grades at the end of the year and say how I've done, because either way I'm still going to be graduating this year even if I don't actually have a graduation. Thing is, they're doing alternative methods for my exams, so they're still not being like cancelled, they're just being changed, so I don't have to go in for the exam, which is fine. But I'm really hoping to have the actual graduation ceremony, even if they postpone it to September, the beginning of September, or the reading week in October. I'd rather that than it get cancelled altogether, because I've won 3 years. Like, I know schools are getting upset they're going to miss unless they're like end of year prom at high A levels or GCSE prom, and then high schools are going to miss their graduation. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't choose to go to high school. You still have to go. So missing out on a graduation, yeah, it sucks, but it's like you had to go. I've chosen to come to uni, and I paid this amount of money, and I'm not even going to get my graduation. It kind of makes a bit more. It's more sad. You do 3 years that you pay for out of your own choice, and you miss out on the one thing that is the thing to look forward to in the 3 years. So, fingers crossed, it still happens. But obviously, I'll keep you updated. You'll probably all know by the internet anyway, but I'll keep you updated in my vlogs. Please make sure you subscribe to my vlog channel, as I've got quite a few vlogs coming up because I've been so bad at editing until now. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a huge thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, please stay safe, and please follow my socials, they're in the description below, and I will see you again soon with another video.